welcome to Mark No Horsemanship. Here we are with Raider. Raider is a 3-year-old quarter type gelding. Just been working Raider in here. He's been here three and a half weeks, I guess. And just sort of starting Raider all over again. And today we're just going to be working on some lateral bends, giving the pressure, and maybe a few backups. Now, before I go any further, let me just tell you, my reins are extremely long. I'm kind of experimenting with some stuff, and before I go to cutting on anything, I wanted to make sure I liked it first. I had this rope laying around in here, and it's real soft, and it's easy to tie a set of, to make a set of reins, tie it on under the halter like I have it. So this is kind of my trial run with it. So just look over the sloppiness and the longness. But if I like it, I'm going to cut it to size. So just wanted to let you know that I am aware that my reins are long. So if anybody's wanting to send me a comment on that, then just save your comment, because I know it. So what I'm going to be doing today is working Raider distance at a walk in some lateral, what I call lateral circles. Like right here, he really wants to get off of and go where he wants to go. So I'm just going to ask him to give me that nose. And another thing too, before I get too much further, you can see I have a bit in his mouth, but there's nothing hooked to it. I just hung it in there today, let him wear it, and let him, just wear it. Just asking him. I think he's been worked in a bridle, but I don't want to do that just yet. I haven't got him where I need him in this rope hackamore. Now, I'm going to talk about that just briefly. I think we're advancing, and I've been guilty of it over the years myself. We have advanced these horses, especially young horses, and that's about all I work with. So that's what the subject is. We have advanced these things way too fast, and the reason I say that is because we're not getting enough lateral bend and enough vertical bend out of them with a halter or a hackamore like I've got set up before we go to the snaffle bit. Now let me even narrow that down a little bit more explicit for you. If I have to get after this horse, and I don't mean with my quirt, I did that because he needs to move, but if I have to get after this horse and really teach him, bump him around, just like right there, bump that nose around, get that hind quarter around. If I have to do that, then that's fine. If I have to do it in the rope halter, that's okay too, because I am not jeopardizing his mouth with this. I'm not making him mad in his mouth. My goal is not to make him mad, period. But if he gets mad in the process, then cry me a river. I'm sorry. But so by me doing it in the halter, see, I can get, excuse the pun, but I can get as rough as I want to. And I'm not hurting his mouth. Now I can sit and do these little bumps right here, bump here, bump here, bump here. If I had a bridle in his mouth, let me rephrase that. I've had to do that with a bit in their mouth in the past. Because why? Because I didn't have them where I need them to be with this little hackamore yet. And I should have waited, and I wouldn't. Now here's the point. I wouldn't have to do it as much or at all with the bit if I hang tight and get them light in this hackamore here. So no matter the discipline, no matter what you're going to, no matter the breed, let's get these things good and quiet with this hackamore first and get them to giving right here, laterally and vertically, before we go any further. Now you don't see me using a bunch of leg or anything yet. He's not ready for none of that. We're working out this little deal right here in his neck, and his nose must follow his tail. And, you know, I'm kicking him forward, of course, to get forwardness, but I'm not in here fancy putting my leg on him and laying my rein on him just yet. That will come later. That will come later. We need to really work on this horse, getting him to move his feet. And right there, that's much better. Now, if you notice when I first started, as I was talking, he was really hanging on that side, going to the right. But he's much better now. So then, after I give him a moment or two to think about that, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to line this up where you can see me a little bit better. Now let me get over here. Now this is going to be as simple as 1, 2, 3. So as I walk a straight line to the other side of the barn here, I'm just going to simply sit down, ask him to stop his feet, break at the pole, and start to think about backing. And that's it. I'm going to rub him right there for that. Look at my extremely long range, y'all. Dylan Engel, if you're watching this, you quit laughing. I'm going to cut him off later. Dylan's my buddy. I wish we were closer so we could socialize together some. But I'm going to walk him over here, and I'm simply going to walk. Sit down, stop him, ask this horse to start to think about backing. I'm going to give right there. Going to give right there. Going to give right there. Oh, it's just getting better and better. Going to give right there. Give right there. And give right there. Now, you might say, Mark, it don't look too swift yet. Well, to be honest, if this would have been done with this colt up till now, it would be looking a whole lot swifter. But I'm not the one, I'm not responsible for that, and I don't mean that offensively. But I think we're riding these colts too advanced. We think that they're advanced. How about that? And we're thinking they're too advanced too soon. So we're just going to stick to kind of kindergarten with him for a few days, maybe even a few more weeks, and just get this horse to really settling in here. So right here, we'll ask him to stop. We'll hold that steady pressure, wave my legs a little, get a little energy put in here. And when he gets tired of that right there, he'll back off of it. Let's just see how tired of it he gets. Just holding right here, right there, he got soft. Now, he's not winning the battle, as some people would think. He's a whole lot better. I didn't ride this horse for the last 2 days, and the last time I rode him, I did this very same thing, and he is 10 times lighter today than he was day before or 2 days ago. Because why? Because I haven't grinded him. I haven't went past his level and asked him to do something that he's not ready for. Just waiting right here, just waiting. Just going to keep hanging on to that nose right there. Now we're getting some softness. I kind of like it when they give me something to work on. Right here now, right there. I don't like it when a horse is dead. They're neither cold nor hot. They're just lukewarm. And that's hard to work with. I'd rather one be kind of hot, to be honest. And I don't mean as far as energy, but I mean as far as resistance. The ones that are more resistant, right there. The ones that are more resistant, they give you a place, they give you a challenge, and finally will give you a place to reward them, and they'll go back to that sooner every time, as opposed to one that's just dead and luggy, and it never gives you an opportunity to reward them. They just sit there. He's a little bit in between. He's a little bit, he's not lukewarm, but he's a little bit cold. A little bit on the cold, cold side, a little bit numb. So we'll just keep working with him. Hold on to his face right here, right there. See, that's getting lighter. You see, let me explain something what I'm looking for. Now, there's a lot of people that may watch me or watch this, and they might say, well, I do this or I do that, and they get that more modern, what I call modern sort of trained horse, if you will, look to where they're way broke over, their heads between their knees, and man, they're really backing up, you know. I'm not after that. I'm trying to make a little working pony out of him, a little work using horse. Although I don't cowboy for a living, I'm trying to make me a cowboy horse. And I don't need his head down there. I need him up here working. I need him light. So when one day comes, I can sit here like this and maybe use my lariat. You know, maybe I'll get into some big loop roping with him, some ranch roping. Who knows? So I need him pretty handy. I don't need his head between his knees. This is going to be, like I said, a using horse, not a show horse. So right here, we're just waiting on him to quit lugging. And that right there, he's got away with that. So I'm just going to hold right here until he what? Until he comes off of it. I may have to get a little bit rank with him right there, right there, right there, and say, hey, you need to give to that right there. You know, don't let him just keep pushing on you. So we'll do that again if I have to. I'll stop him. I'll pull this side, this side, this side, this side, until he what? Until he starts to, right there, until he starts to really want me to turn him loose. But the only time I'm going to do it, right there. Now I started off with all due respect for him, right there. I started off with all due respect. And he forced me to get a little bit cantankerous. So I'm going to stop him right here. We'll left, right, left, right, left, right. That right's really right there. Now he's starting to get unstuck. He's going to get ugly before it gets worse. Right there. Now although he's breaking over a little bit too much. Right, left, wiggle that nose, right there. Although he's breaking over a little bit too much, you know, you have to overcompensate to get results. So right here, see now he's starting to learn. Now he's going to hang on that right side again, left side, left side. You know, he can't handle too much of that. That's a lot of nose pressure. You can see him wanting to get ugly. This horse don't really know how to be bad. He's a pretty good old horse. Right here, I can't let him quit me. Right there. Now, this is a deal where someone's got to win, and I prefer it be me. So right here now, that's good. That's good. That's good. Now, if he goes light, I'll go light. But if he causes me to get heavy, like right there, then I'll get heavy. That's pretty good. Until he gives me a good one here, I'm not going to quit. That's getting better. That's getting better. Now right here, he's wanting to get that hip out, so I kick that hip over, and just ask him to back up right here. Hang on him a little bit, put a little pressure on that nose. See, if that was a bridle, I'd be going way past respecting him in his mind, having to do this. But right here, now look how better that's getting. Right here, he's going to hang up again. I don't mind to wiggle that nose again. Wiggle that nose again. Right here. Right there. Right there. See, I need that. I need that really nice. Now let's just let him soak on that just a minute. But I really need that to get a whole lot better. Buddy, you want me to do my long reins again?
Sure.
Do my long reins. That looks like a leg could get in that, don't it?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to fix them. Again, if you're just now tuning in, I know my reins are long, so we're gonna fix them. So now, let's see if that kind of soaked in there just a minute. Take up some of that rein right there. Now I'm just gonna ask him to, that needs to get a little snappier. It's kind of like teaching one to walk off. Eventually, now there it comes. He knows, he's starting to realize that the more lucky he gets, the more demanding that I get. It'll get better. I'm not worried about it. I've got all kinds of time. Right here, we're going to get that hip unlocked right there. Right here, we're going to get this hip unlocked. Get that hip unlocked right there. Now back up straight is what I'm saying. Right here. Gotta wiggle that nose again. Right there. A little bit lighter. Now we'll change the monotony here a little bit. We'll go this way. Ask him to back off of that. Get that hip unlocked right there. Back up straight, in other words. Wait, I ain't lugging on him anymore. The days of holding him is over. He needs to back on up, and I'm going to make it as uncomfortable as I have to until he does. Wiggle that nose. Wiggle that nose. It would be no different if I was asking him to back on the ground with that halter. I'd wiggle that nose a little bit. See, he's really wanting me to quit pulling on that. And I'm saying, hey, I'll quit pulling when you get softer. You're going to get a little regression before you get right there. As they progress, they're going to regress. So what I'm waiting on is for me just to raise my hands, or start to raise my hands, and he starts to want to back up. Let him think on that just a minute. I don't have any interference on his nose at all. I've got my reins nice and loose, but I'm ready to do it again. So right here, we'll do it again. That's a little better. A little better. A little better. Got a little bit more theatrics going here. But he's lighter. And when I say he's lighter, he's starting to say, hey, I think I'd better just go on. Now the head thing. All he's trying to do is talk me out of it. The only thing you got to be careful for is when they start getting their head up, right there. When they start getting their head up, they ain't got nowhere else to go. But where? Up. So you got to be careful. Now, ask him again here. That's getting lighter. That's getting lighter. You'll quit the old head thing. Right there. That's better. Let me quit him on a little bit better note. Right. Just gonna hold him here until he gets soft. Right there. About done, baby. You good? Mm-hmm. Okay. It's getting a little better. A little better. A little better. Now you know, now most folks watching is gonna say, nah, it's getting worse. No, it's not. No, it's not. You kick this rear end out. It's getting better because here in a minute, he's going to get, what I'm talking about getting lighter is his backup. I'm not really talking, I mean, he's getting lighter in the face too, but his backup is he's starting to really back up instead of just drag around. Right there. He'll do it right. And as soon as he's done, we're done. I'm going to hold right here, right there. Right there. Now look at that. Now look at that. Right there. we go. See? You gotta break that seal. Do it one more time. Just gonna ask him to, I'm just lifting. I just want him to back up nice and soft. Right there. Now. I know you think with the head tossing, why am I saying now? Well, you should feel it. It's just getting lifted. Instead of being all soggy and boggy down in there, barely moving his feet, he's starting to lift himself a little bit. Watch him right here. He's starting to lift. Lift up and really rock back on them hindquarters and learn how to do this. I don't mind the head tossing. Bless his heart. His little old stubby neck is too short to come back here and give me a bloody nose. So he can just fling that head around all he wants. It'll get very, very uncomfortable for him to sling his head around after about 20,000 times of doing it. So right here, we can't let him get soggy boggy again. Like I said, with every progress, you get a little bit of regress. Right there. See, I don't mind showing y'all the ugly. Everybody shows you the pretty. But there's only one way that it gets pretty, and that's for it to get ugly first. Right there. Right there. That's much better. We'll give him a little bit of a break right there. So I hope all that's making sense. We'll do it one more time for you, and then we're going to end this video. Learning how to, he needs to really lift and learn how to lift his barrel up and rock his hindquarters under him instead of just being all, it's almost like someone that don't have a good posture. You know, they're always just slumpy and kind of shoulders down. Teaching this horse how to lift and really start to back up with some prettiness. You know, it ain't always in how it looks at first. I know he's tossing his head around and it looks horrible. Do you think I like it? No, I've seen and felt horses that look prettier than that. But what I'm trying to tell you all is that it's got to look at that. It's got to look ugly before it gets better. I guarantee you. Now, if I was to reach up there and flop him in between the ears with my hand or something, all I'm going to do is make a fight. Right there. All I can do is wait on the right response. All I can do is wait on the right response and reward him for it. Right here, he's getting heavy on that left side. Got to get worse before it gets better. Now here, I don't mind it. I don't mind to start kind of waking him up here a little bit. Saying, hey, that'll be enough. Right there. He lifted. Now look at that. Now you can't tell me that they sometimes don't need to be woke up like I just did. He felt my frustration and he decided to do it correctly. Right here, he needs to get a little bit faster about walking out. Now, calm down, tell him, and just back yourself up. Now look at that. Much better. Let him soak on that a minute. Now when I cluck, he ought to go forward. Right there, that's better. Back him up right here. Soft. Lift. Soft. Nice and soft and lift. Right there. Right there. Now, so that's the beginnings of it. Like I said, it still ain't pretty. Give me a couple days and I'll bring y'all another video and you'll see the difference. And all I'm going to do is this process right here. If I can, I'll document every video. If I can't, you'll just have to trust me that I didn't use any kind of devices, any kind of martingales or anything of that nature. It'll be done with pure honesty and just what you see me doing here. But we're going to stay right here for a few days with this and see where we get. Sorry about that. Bailey's thumb got carried away and hit the stop button. But we're just going to stay right here and right there. We'll quit him right there. And I'll come back in a couple days and show y'all the progress with it. So, hope you enjoyed that. God bless you and have a good day.